You step off the Bremerton ferry as downtown Seattle rises across Puget Sound. Today, we're counting down Greater Seattle towns, where HUD's 2026 fair market rent for a whole 4-bedroom house comes in below studio rents in some Seattle area communities. Here's the setup. The Seattle studio comparisons include Clyde Hill and Yarrow Point at $3,110, Belltown and Lower Queen Anne at $3,100, Snoqualmie at $2,960, and downtown Seattle and Westlake at $2,880, all according to HUD FAR market rents, fiscal year 2026. The arbitrage is plain. Kitsap and Pierce County towns sit in different HUD rent areas from those Seattle side studio benchmarks, so the map creates some sharp side-by-side comparisons. Number 5 is Bremerton. Bremerton is the largest city on the Kitsap Peninsula, and its placement here starts with the ferry connection. The 4-bedroom figure is $2,790 for a home about 0.2 of a mile from the ferry that docks in downtown Seattle, according to HUD fair market rents, fiscal year 2026. That sits below the Clyde Hill and Yarrow Point studio figure of $3,110, and below Belltown and Lower Queen Anne at $3,100, according to HUD fair market rents, fiscal year 2026. Walk Score puts Bremerton at 80 in 2026, which adds another practical signal around the ferryside core. Number 4 is Silverdale. This Kitsap County community has never incorporated as a city, but it still lands high because the 4-bedroom rent is $2,940 on the Kitsap side, according to HUD fair market rents, fiscal year 2026. That puts it just below Snoqualmie studio figure of $2,960 and further below Belltown and Lower Queen Anne at $3,100, according to HUD fair market rents, fiscal year 2026. Walk Score puts Silverdale at 13 in 2026, so its story here is less about a dense street grid and more about the cross-county rent comparison. Number 3 is Lakewood. Lakewood is a Pierce County city, and its 4-bedroom fair market rent is $2,970, according to HUD fair market rents, fiscal year 2026. To keep the comparison honest, that is not below every studio benchmark named today. Downtown Seattle and Westlake are $2,880 for a studio, according to HUD fair market rents, fiscal year 2026. But Lakewood still comes in below the $3,100 studio figure in Belltown and Lower Queen Anne, and below the $3,110 figure in Clyde Hill and Yarrow Point, according to HUD fair market rents, fiscal year 2026. Walk Score puts Lakewood at 85 in 2026, one of the higher walk scores. Number 2 is Steilacoom. Steilacoom is a Pierce County town on Puget Sound, and the ferry town setting is a big part of why it stands out in this comparison. The 4-bedroom figure is $2,970, according to HUD fair market rents, fiscal year 2026, matching Lakewood's rent number while bringing a smaller town profile along the water. That figure comes in below Belltown and Lower Queen Anne at $3,100, and below Clyde Hill and Yarrow Point at $3,110, according to HUD fair market rents, fiscal year 2026. Walk Score puts Steilacoom at 43 in 2026, so it lands in the middle of the pack on that measure. And number 1 is Tacoma. Tacoma is the county seat of Pierce County, a port city on Puget Sound, and it sits roughly 30 miles from Seattle and Olympia, with Mount Rainier National Park farther to the southeast. The rent comparison is the headline. A 4-bedroom house's fair market rent is $2,990, which is still under the $3,100 plus studio figures in Belltown, Lower Queen Anne, Clyde Hill, and Yarrow Point, according to HUD fair market rents, fiscal year 2026. Walk Score puts Tacoma at 84 in 2026, giving it one of the stronger walkability readings among these 5. It takes the top spot because it pairs the biggest city profile here with the clearest under 3,000 comparison against the highest Seattle Metro studio benchmarks. So, the final 5 are Bremerton, Silverdale, Lakewood, Steilacoom, and Tacoma. The pattern is not that every 4-bedroom beats every Seattle area studio. It is that HUD's rent geography creates specific cross-market comparisons, where a larger rental in Kitsap or Pierce County can price below a studio in parts of the Seattle metro. That gap is what makes this countdown so different from a simple city-by-city rent ranking. What did we miss? Is there another Kitsap, Pierce, or Seattle area town you would have put in the top 5? Or a specific ferry stop, downtown block, or neighborhood you would rank higher? If this helped you see the metro map differently, tap the like button and subscribe for more Seattle neighborhood deep dives. Tell me what Seattle topic you want next, whether it is ferry towns, walkable suburbs, waterfront areas, or a single neighborhood breakdown. Every number in this video is sourced, and you'll find the links in the description.